Did you know children should have their first comprehensive eye exam at 6 months of age and every 1 to 2 years afterwards? Unfortunately, most children have not had an eye exam. While there are many reasons children haven't been to an eye doctor, the ability to pay for the exam is not one of them. Medicaid or most private insurances cover the cost of the exam and glasses. And if they don't, New Mexico Lion's Operation Kid Sight has funding available, so it's free for the family.
Hi, Las Cruces friends. Be sure to join us this Saturday night on Facebook at 9 p.m. as we have a great show. It's going to be full of soul. We have Doña County Commissioner Isabella Solis. We have the band Exclusive Soul, the great Las Cruces area band, and we're going to be cooking in the kitchen with Dawn Solar, making a cool summer salsa. And of course, it's my sidekick Scotty's birthday, so make sure you stay tuned to Facebook this Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Be sure to join us this week with Sam Stickner and my sidekick Scott as we welcome Dawn Solar, who's going to be in the studio with me making mango salsa.
Woo! Look at how this turned. Oh, you have to see how we made it. That was the fun part. And we talked about Cancun and all the good times we're going to have this summer and the kickoff to Cinco de Mayo. So I'm excited to watch the show. It's going to be fun.
Be sure to tune in on Facebook this Saturday night at 9 o'clock as I welcome Dawn and some great guests from the community.
Scott, we got you on in 5 minutes.
Scott, I heard it was your birthday, so I just wanted to have a little time alone with you, a little special time. I'm going to sing you a little birthday song. You ready, Scott? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Scott. You're so cute. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Welcome to This Week with Sam Stickner. You know, I'm excited to come back here for our second show. After our first show, I got a lot of positive feedback from the Las Cruces community, and I was out and about in some of the grocery stores. And the other day, I was over at Albertsons on El Paseo, and as I was in line, the cash register, the girl at the cash register said to me, "You know, you look really familiar." And a lot of times I get that because, as I mentioned before, I'm a teacher. And she said, no, she said, I said, well, you know, not to brag, but I do have my own TV show on the Las Cruces channel. And she said, yeah, I seen you as I was flicking the channel. She goes, where's Scott? And, you know, that's what I keep getting. Everybody wants to know where Scott is. You know, and I'm a 52-year-old man. You really think I'm going to be walking around Las Cruces carrying a roll of toilet paper with me? So Scott kind of stays in his own spot between shows, and I get him out. And Scott's going to be on the show with me here tonight, so don't worry. In fact, I have a special surprise for him because it's his birthday. So during our next segment, we're going to be wishing Scott a happy birthday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So as I said, my day job, so to speak, is a teacher, and I know lots of you right now are at home teaching your children. Pretty fun, isn't it? Now you know what I go through on a daily basis. You're welcome. But, you know, I have my grandson who lives at home with me, and he always says to me, you know, Pop, I'm not good at math. And, you know, he may not be good at textbook math, but I'll tell you what, he's good at street math. Because a little while back, I won some money on the New Mexico lottery. I won $500. And he said to me, hey, Pop-Up, can you buy me a video game? So he's been wanting this video game that was for $60, so I bought it for him. And about a couple of days later, he says, you know, Pop-Up, I've been thinking about something. And I said, what's that, son? And he said, you know, you bought me that video game for $60. He goes, you should have $440 left. And I said, yeah, I do. And he says, well, he goes, I was thinking, you know, 100 for you and Grandma, so that's 200. 100 for Dad. And he goes, and then the rest for me. And I'm like, well, how much? I said, how much do you think I'm going to give you? And he goes, and he starts adding it in his head. And he goes, well, there's 40 left over. Plus, he goes, $140. So don't tell me he doesn't know math. So right away, he was able to figure that out in his head. So he really knows math. And I bet your students out there, your kids, know more than they're acting like they do too. So, but it's been a strange time here in Las Cruces. And one of the things that we're trying to do here is bring you a great show. And speaking of which, we have an awesome show tonight. We have County Commissioner Isabella Solis going to be joining us. Our special musical guest tonight is Exclusive Soul. And also joining me in the kitchen is one of our regular guests, Dawn Solar. So you could say that this show is full of soul. Again, Exclusive Soul, Isabella Solis, and Dawn Solar. So, yeah, again, another bad joke from our writers. So let's stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these messages for this week.
Do you suffer from rashes, dryness, flakiness, and thickness to the skin? 3A Research is conducting a trial of an investigational drug on plaque psoriasis. Subjects must be 18 years of age or older. This is an 8-week study. We will compensate you for your time and travel up to $225. Contact our office at 575-288-1646.
Call our offices today for more information. Serving El Paso and now open in Las Cruces. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Welcome back to this week. You know, as I stated in my monologue earlier, everywhere I go around Las Cruces, people are starting to recognize me, but you know, they don't necessarily recognize me as much as they do as my sidekick, Scott. They all ask me where Scott is, and as I said earlier, it's not like I go around with a toilet paper roll everywhere I go. Scott, as I mentioned, Scott has a home here in our Las Cruces studios, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him out because I mentioned we have a little surprise. Today is Scott's birthday, so happy birthday, Scotty. So Scott, how old are you today? It's your second birthday? So you're trying to tell me it's birthday number 2? I know that's not that funny, but I think it is. I know, calm down. We're just having a little joke at your expense. And relax, we have a little surprise for you. Some of the producers here at the show got you a cupcake. Now, we know that I didn't get you a candle because I know you don't like flames. And also, we got you a little birthday present. I'm not going to put you on it now, but we got you a little koozie to keep you warm because it gets a little cool here in the studio at night. So we're gonna have that for you later on when you're ready to go back into your little home here. So happy birthday, Scotty, and we wish you the best. So stay tuned with the show here. We have a great show coming up today. As I mentioned, we have Doña County Commissioner Isabella Solis joining us. She's running for New Mexico State House District 37, and she's also an all-around country girl. So let's welcome our first guest, Isabella Solis. Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
So, as I was telling you before the show, we have definitely a show that is Las Cruces forward. So are you originally from Las Cruces?
No, I'm not, Sam. My husband was born and raised here in Las Cruces.
And where were you raised?
I was born in Texas.
Yes, I detect a little bit of an accent.
Yes. We lived in Louisiana for about 25 years and started working for FEMA, so that's what led me here. That's
right. I read a little bit of your background on you, and you actually worked during Hurricane Katrina. What was that like?
That was a very great experience. I think that that experience has served me well through the years in working with people in the community.
How so?
Well, providing resources for those less fortunate, and of course, providing housing. And that was my main role as an employee for FEMA, was direct housing.
And do you think it helped you as you got into politics?
I think that it was very, very good for me, because as I learned how to provide resources for the people in the FEMA community, as a county commissioner, that just connected me to the people in my district to be able to provide those same resources.
So now, as commissioner, right now you're dealing with, of course, the coronavirus that's going on and all the social distancing. As you can see,
I know. I was going to say, yeah.
We have our little protective shield here between us, and we have our mask here at the ready. But how are you? How is it working in politics these days in the state of New Mexico, dealing with this? It's not the same as what you dealt with as FEMA, because it's not a natural disaster, but nonetheless, it is a pandemic.
It is a pandemic, and as a matter of fact, this is kind of historical, I would say, because this is the first time in history that 50 states have been declared as an emergency. So we are all dealing with that, and not just United States, but all nations across. So social distancing has been very interesting. Learning how to stay home and wear masks is a different norm.
So for sure. So and I believe, I always mention it's definitely a time of uncertainty for all of us. So what are some of the things you've been doing during this quarantine?
Well, I've been just staying home a lot. I've been a little more domesticated. I've washed a lot of dishes, and I've even made dinner for my husband. And so the other day when he came home, I said, "Darling, I have prepared dinner for us." So I was able to pull out the Subway sandwiches and set them on the table.
Yes, I've definitely been delving into a little more cooking, but yes, there's certainly some nights that I take advantage of these offers that the community businesses are offering with the curbside to go and the pickup and all that, because there's a lot of great deals right now, because of course we want to keep our local restaurants in business as much as possible.
That's right. I think it's really important. Our small businesses right now are really suffering because of the coronavirus, and so it's important that we do, support them, yes.
Right, of course. So I mentioned earlier you're running for New Mexico State House District 37. Right now you're a county commissioner. What made you decide to run for state office?
Well, as a county commissioner, I love what I do. I like working with the people. We've been able to make some huge accomplishments. I spearheaded a $10.2 million road initiative working for our community, which is great. And I can say I spearheaded it, but the commission came together as a whole, so I think that's important for people to know, that they were in agreement that we needed to do something. And I want to continue working for our community, but at the county level, we can't change law. We have policy and we have the budget that we deal with. But I feel like at the state level, we can make changes and make laws.
Now, one interesting thing that I saw was that you, at one point, were a Democrat, and then you switched over to the Republican Party. Do I have that right? Do I have that?
Yeah, that is correct. I was actually a Democrat my entire life, my entire adult life. I think it was tradition. My parents were Democrats. We were Democrats of the JFK era, if you recall. Back then, the Democrats worked for the people. The party that I belonged to then is more of modern, more progressive, and it doesn't fit my values and morals. So that's the reason I made the change.
Okay, but as someone who's worked for both parties now, do you see yourself as someone who can create that level of bipartisanship then?
I have worked with my colleagues on the board that are Democrats, that were Republicans before, and I feel, yes, I can work across the aisle with my colleagues, with the commissioners, and even at the state level. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, Sam, I don't really work for a party, I work for the people.
So again, tell me a little. You said you grew up in Texas. When you were a little girl, did you dream about becoming a politician, or what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I always wanted to be a secretary. I thought that was a great job when I would go to town or to the store with my parents or a business, and I always wanted to be a secretary. I thought that was awesome. I never dreamed that I would be in this position today.
So I mentioned to you earlier that I'm a teacher. What are some things that you would tell some young women, but students in general out there about pursuing your dreams?
I would just say that education is so important. It is the foundation of everything that we do, and getting an education is really the beginning into success.
All right. Well, Isabel, I'd like to thank you for joining me today on the show, and I wish you luck in the election. It's going to be on Tuesday, November 3rd.
That is correct.
And we'll see what happens. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages with this week.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, folks, as I mentioned earlier, we're celebrating my co-host, my sidekick, if you will, Scotty. Today's his second birthday, and I'm excited for this week's show because it's full of soul. Earlier we had Doña County Commissioner Isabel Solis, and then coming up we're going to have a great musical guest in the studio, Exclusive Soul, and then joining me in the kitchen is Dawn Solar. So again, lots of soul today. You know, Las Cruces, I'm really excited that we're going to be opening up a lot of things here in the community now, and a lot of the state parks and some venues are going to be opening back up. So I think things are going to be getting back to what we call the new normal, and hopefully we'll be able to get out and about soon. And one of the things that I think once we're able to get back out and visit some local venues is to see this next great group that's going to be here live in the studio. They're called Exclusive Soul, and they perform all over the Las Cruces area. And here they are with one of their songs. Welcome, Exclusive Soul.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the Las Cruces area and surrounding areas, we're down at the Las Cruces station, Las Cruces 98, and we're here, and this is Exclusive Soul. To my left, we have Mr. Skeevy Meredith and myself, Stinger. A girl, and Donna was her name. Yeah. Since she left me, I've never been the same. Oh, I love my girl, and Donna, would you always be? Tell me, where would you be? Earth angel, will you be mine? My darling dear, love you all the time. I'm just a fool in love with you, with you, with you. Of your loveliness, I hope and I pray that someday I'll be the vision of your happiness. darling dear, love you all the time. I'm just a fool in love with you, with you, with you. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone. Oh yeah, without a fear in my heart, without a law of my own. Darling, you send me, yeah. I know that you, oh, you send me. I know that you send me, yeah. Honest you do, honest you do, honest you do, honest you do, honest you do.
Welcome back. You know, Scott and I are really excited about summer. It's just around the corner. And one of the greatest things about summertime in Las Cruces is the food. And I'm happy to have back in the studio with me today Dawn Solar. She's one of our local celebrities here on the Las Cruces channel. And she's going to be helping us make a cool summer salsa.
Thank you, Seth. Actually, a cool mango summer salsa. Mangoes or mangos?
You know, I love mangoes. They remind me of the time that my wife and I went on our honeymoon in Cancun.
Ooh, this might be a hotter salsa than I thought. Tell me about it.
Cancun is awesome. I really love the food and the mariachis and the sombreros and all sorts of the festivities. Not that we got to see too much. You know, we kind of stayed in the room a lot. But
Sounds wonderful. Good time. Do you mind, though, before we start, if I could just add a little touch here?
Speaking of Mexico,
Just to make our salsa a little bit more salsa-y.
all right, the sombrero is awesome.
It's Cinco de Mayo time,
That's
you know.
right. The month
Woo!
of May is here.
All month.
I have to tell you though, Dawn, somebody might feel a little left out if I get a sombrero. And
That's Scott.
yes, you remember Scott.
That Senor Scotty, because I can have a
You
little
and Scott
something
go way
for
back,
him.
don't you?
Scott have had some moments.
Oh, look at that, Scott. I'm
I
gonna
won't
keep
forget
Scott-
about you,
I'm going
Scott.
to keep Scott a little away from the festivities because we don't want to get any salsa on him.
There we go. Is he going to balance okay? All right. So, are we ready to try this salsa?
There you go. We'll fix Scott. Scott's upside down. There we go.
Okay. Salsa, Scott, what are you doing?
I know he's getting a little loopy already. Must be those margaritas we had before the show started.
Okay. All right. So let me tell you, this is just basically a 5-ingredient salsa. So simple. Fresh ingredients. Makes you feel like you're having a little party outside, a little fiesta.
Well, we know mango's one of the main ingredients. What else do we got going on?
Okay, so we got cilantro, jalapenos, some lime,
All the
some red onions.
all the usual suspects in a great salsa, huh?
And mangoes. Thank you. Woo! Look at that. TV magic. We're not going to cut anything up right there. Well, we're going to cut a lime. Okay, so for the lime.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take care of that for
Okay,
you.
so you be careful there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get the first ingredient.
I don't know,
here
me
going.
and knives, we might have a different kind of show here, but we'll see.
Let's throw in those mangoes first. Okay. That's good. We'll squeeze that in. So I'm just going to have you, well, I'll just throw it in right there.
I gotta squeeze this in here for
Sometimes
you.
they don't all cut up perfectly, so you just throw those back in there like that. Okay, there we go. Little slippery one. Okay. Squeeze that juice in there. We could put some more juice in there too. All right.
Another one here.
You
that
might
we
want to add like half of these red onions.
All right.
Smelling fresh already.
Yeah, they're really, smelling good.
Woo, potent ones,
Smell
aren't
good.
they?
Let me add a little more lime juice into
All
that.
right, mix it around. Okay, now we got some, some red peppers.
Right.
You want to throw those in?
Sure. Is this something that you make throughout the summertime, Dawn?
We do so much of this because you get a little fruit in there, to mix it up from the regular salsa. It's fun. And if you don't want to use chips, you can use celery, something else.
So we have lots of holidays coming up in the summertime. How do you and your family usually celebrate Mother's Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July? Those stuff?
In the backyard.
By the pool, huh?
All in the backyard, by the pool.
All right. Okay. Well, why don't we go ahead
and swirl it, and we're gonna
put this in?
Add a little more cilantro.
All right.
A little bit of that.
And we'll mix it up, and we'll give it a taste.
Here's where your salsa gets hot.
Oh, I'm forgetting the best part.
You're forgetting. Okay, if you like it hot or you like a little hot. Woo! Well, if you wanted it spicy like Cancun,
all right,
you can make it hot.
Let's go ahead and toss it together, and we'll give it a try.
It's so funny, that audience. It's cracking me up. All right, so we'll mix it around. Let's get some more lime juice. Look at that. Look at the color. That alone is beautiful. It makes you want to eat it. Like that.
It does look beautiful. It's
I
very
dare
colorful.
you. No, just kidding.
I don't know. I might not stop.
Mix it up, mix it around. Shake it up, shake it yourself. Shake it up.
Shake it like the maracas. Feel it hot, hot.
Shake it like a salt shaker. Oh, salt shaker. I forgot about that.
Let's go ahead.
How about a little bit, like, if you're really feeling fiesty, just a little bit, because you want that little sweet, tangy taste, right? I think more lime juice is the best way to go.
Well, I think we're running just about out of time in this segment, Dawn. So let's go ahead.
Okay, I was ready to just keep going.
I know she did. I know.
Look at that.
I know.
Okay.
I could cook with you all night.
We haven't had some handy dandy tips right here. I'm ready to cook something else right now. Ooh, look at that. Okay.
All right, let's
get chips on sale right now in your local grocery store. Shall we try it?
Yes. All right.
All right. To Cancun.
That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you, Dawn, for joining me again on This Week. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to This Week. Friends, I'm really having an awesome time doing this show, but I have to be a little honest with you about one thing. I haven't exactly told my wife yet what I'm doing here on the show. She thinks I'm doing something with my teaching job, so I'm going to go ahead and give her a call and because my wife and I discuss everything, and I want to make sure it's okay with her that I'm hosting this show. So let's go ahead and give her a call. Hi, hon. How you doing?
Hi, hon.
Hey, I wanted to fill you in on something. I know you think I'm out doing some stuff with my teaching job, but I'm actually hosting a show on the Las Cruces channel called This Week with Sam Stickter.
Oh, you are? How awesome.
Is that okay with you? Do I have your permission to do this?
I don't know. You didn't bring it up to me before.
I think I'm going to be in the doghouse, Scott. Hey, you see my co-host here, Scott?
That's where all of our toilet paper's gone.
No, just, and he's a friend of the family, Bon. So, but I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be hosting this show every week. So, but I'll make sure that I'm home to do my chores and help around the house during the quarantine. And don't worry, I am practicing social distancing. I have my mask, and we have a little screen between us here, between me and the guest. So, are we good?
Awesome. Yeah, we're good. I'll be zooming in and checking your show out.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.
Bye. joy in the city. For the man every night and day.
I told you this show is full of soul, and we are honored tonight to have the group Exclusive Soul with us. So welcome to the show, guys.
Rolling on the river.
So guys,
I was in the zone, man.
keep going. What can I say?
All right,
You guys are awesome.
You got Scott there. This is his birthday. Okay.
Yes, say
Happy birthday, Scott.
All right. I brought you guys in exclusively for Scott's birthday. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
Exclusive Soul.
Yeah, Exclusive Soul.
All right. So here we have Stinger J and we have Skeevy with us. All right. So how long have you guys been together?
Oh, since last year of the 4th of July.
So not too long, but
Not too long.
you seem like you meshed together pretty well.
Yeah, we did. I went and met Jason Momoa's
twin brother.
No, that's his baby mama's sister.
Oh, baby mama's.
Yeah, his baby mama's sister cousin. So I started hanging out with him, and he felt kind of bad for the old dude, so he said, "I'll hang out with you." I was like, "Thanks, Jason."
So he's
baby mama's
incognito.
sister cousin.
He's incognito. Is that what the
Yeah, he's incognito.
You know, we had a great show tonight. Like I said, it was full of soul. We had Doñana County Commissioner Isabella Solis. We had an awesome band, Exclusive Soul, and we cooked in the kitchen making that awesome mango salsa with Dawn Solar. So be sure to tune in every week, and remember, make this week your best week. Take care, Las Cruces.
21st night of September, lovers calling my pretender while chasing the night away. Now remember, love is sad September. Blue talks of love, remember, never was a cloudy day. Papa was a rolling stone. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. It was the 3rd of September, the day I'll always remember, 'cause that was the day that my daddy died. I never got the chance to see, never heard nothing but bad things about him. So mama, I'm dependent on you to tell me the truth. Mama just hung her head and said, Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, all he left us was alone, lone, lone, lone. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, all he left us was alone, lone, lone, lone. Hey mama, is it true that they say that Papa never worked a day in his life?
And mama, some bad tongue go around town saying that Papa had 3 outside children and another wife.
Heard them talk about some storefront preaching, talk about saving soul all the time, reaching, dealing in debt, all in the name of the Lord. Mama just hung her head and said, Papa was a rolling stone.
Rolling stone.
Wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, all he left us was alone, lone, lone, lone. Papa. Anybody seen him? Papa. Anybody seen him? Papa. Anybody seen? Trying to find my daddy. song ahead. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, all he left us was alone, lone. Oh, Papa was a rolling stone. Hey, wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, all he left us was alone, lone, 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 lone. Oh, Papa was a rolling stone. Hey, was a rolling stone. Hey, Papa was a rolling stone. Hey, Papa was a rolling stone. We love you, Papa was a rolling stone. Looking for my Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat, wherever he laid his hat, yeah, wherever he laid his hat, wherever he laid his hat was his home, yeah. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Oh, yeah. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, stand now. Oh, yeah. Stand by me. In the night that we look upon, yeah, should tremble and fall, and the mountains should tremble to the sea. I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, just stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. If you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Just as long as you stand, just as long as you stand, just as long as you stand by me. Do you remember 21st night of September? Love was calling my pretender while chasing the night away. Now remember, love to share September, blue talks of love. Remember, never was a cloudy day. Say now you remember, body there's a yes up to your body never was a clouded day. Oh yeah, we want to say thank you to Cruces channel for inviting us. We once again are exclusive soul, Skeevy and Stinger. Do you remember? Never a cloudy day. Thank you.
Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now. Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
Thank you. You know, Las Cruces, thanks for tuning in for another episode of This Week. I'm your host, Sam Stichter, and we're going to be bringing you our own version of fireworks tonight. Woohoo! You know, our nation, believe it or not, is celebrating our 244th birthday. And I'm getting a little older here, and I can remember back the 200th celebration of our nation back in 1976. I was 8 years old. I was a little kid. Well, probably about the same height I am now. I remember everybody was caught up in bicentennial fever. And, you know, the fireworks that year were probably just a little more spectacular than they normally were. And it's just a great memory from my childhood. And speaking of things that I did as a kid, you know, one thing that I can distinctly remember, and I'm sure some of you did this as well, is my friends and I would go to drive-in movies. And a bunch of us would sneak into the trunk, we'd pile in, and then after we got inside, we'd all pile out of the trunk, you know, like those old clown cars where you see all the clowns piling out, and it was just really funny, and that was our way of getting out of paying. Which, don't do that, kids. But speaking of drive-in theaters, Las Cruces' own Allen Theaters is now hosting drive-in movies. They're pretty smart, though, because they just charge by the car, so they don't have to worry about all that. And, you know, folks, I'm glad that we're seeing all sorts of different forms of entertainment coming back into the community so people can get out and enjoy themselves this summer. And speaking of enjoying yourselves and entertainers, we have a great show tonight. We have a local duo that is some folk singers that are going to be singing songs from the 1960s and 70s. The Two of Us is here. Also, we have a very talented singer who specializes in mariachi music. Orlando Antonio Jimenez is here. So folks, you're not going to want to miss it. Stick around because this show is going to be a hot one. Woo!
Broken AC, $4,600. Water heater, $1,500. Fridge on the fritz, $1,000.
You won't pay any of that when you have home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club.
They'll repair or replace your covered home appliances and systems for around $1 a day.
HSC provides coverage of up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home.
Call the number on your screen now. Get a month free plus $75 off your first year HSC home warranty. No worries, just service.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, folks, I've been able to get around town all over the place now that things are slowly opening back up. I've been to the mall. I've been to a couple of restaurants. I've been doing that outside seating, and everybody's keeping their distance. So that's been really good. And the one thing that I really enjoyed, my wife and I were able to go to Amador Live, and you might recall a few shows back, we had a band on the show called Exclusive Soul, really great local band, and we went out to see them, and it's great to see them in action. So it's nice to see that everything's opening back up again and getting somewhat back to normal. Speaking of bands, we have a great local band with us tonight. I'd like to welcome my first guest, the two of us. We have Frank Bravado and Helene McMillan here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So you guys are you played mainly 1960s and 70s folk rock?
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about that and how you got into it?
Well, we're both at that era, so that was our forte back when we started playing guitar, and that's what we love. So we just continued, and when we met each other, he said, "You want to do some Beatles songs?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. Let's try that out." So we did that, and then, a couple Eagles songs, and and do you know any Rolling Stones? And it went from there.
That's great. Yeah, I heard you mention that you perform over 300 songs together.
Yeah, we have 300 in our repertoire.
Wow. And Frank, I know there's a cute story about you two were actually rivals at one point. How did you end up getting together?
We met in the market, playing in the farmers market downtown. And when I came to town, she was already the queen of the market. And I started singing in a different spot, and she started noticing that I was affecting her tip amount.
Yeah. That was my food money. I was going back to college.
She started coming around behind me. She used to still smoke cigarettes back then. And she'd smoke a cigarette behind me and start harmonizing. And I'd be like, who is that there?
Who is that?
And then she gave me a ride one time. She saw me in the street. And we ended up at her house to have some beers and just see something. Because we had mentioned to each other that she used to have this card in front of her, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, which is a Buddhist sect from Japan. And I'm part of that sect too, and we mentioned that to each other. So we had beer, Buddhism, and Beatles.
There you go, the 3 Bs.
3 Bs.
What more do you need?
And we started still going to the market and playing our separate sets, but playing our third set together, and noticed that we were making a lot more money when we were harmonizing.
You became the king of the marketplace.
we became the kings for a while.
Yeah.
Because we don't use microphones or anything when we play in the street.
We just belt it out.
You can hear us 2-3 blocks away. Because we've both been busking since we were young.
Yeah. And I kept asking them, who is the guy with the long hair that just screams? Screams all his music.
That's
and
not singing, that's screaming.
And they said, I go, he plays a great guitar, but he screams his lyrics. He said, and he doesn't remember them either. I went, no, he doesn't. So, and then he'd do the same verse 3 times and just bang it away. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's taking my tips. How is that happening? So anyway, once we got together, I kind of finessed him a little bit and taught him how you can sing a little softer. You have to scream. If you put words in front of you, read them.
So you're not only partners in music, you're partners in life.
We are.
We ended up like that.
We ended up
We
together.
fought it for a long time.
We did. We tried not to. And everybody kept saying, we know you're
We
together.
know you guys
They
are
could see it.
We
coming.
know.
Like,
And we said,
we're
no,
not.
we're not. We're just doing music. And they said,
After like 6
You were
months.
making your own kind of music, just didn't know it.
Well, we used to go to the concerts in the park together on Sundays and stuff like that. You know, nothing. But everybody was like, "Oh, we know." We're like, "No, you don't know anything." So
how long have you been here in Las Cruces? Both of you, I know, are not originally from here. So how did you end up here?
I ended up here. I promised my mother years ago that I would finish my college degree. I started it in 1982 at NMSU, and I never finished it. So I came back in 2010 to get my last year in. And that's how I ended up back here in 2010. But I did live here from 82 to 93.
And you went to NMSU, correct?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I got my degree from NMSU.
And Frank?
I came here in 2011 I had escaped from Florida to Portland. Well, I was in a bad personal situation in Florida, and my Army buddy helped me out, took me to Portland. And then he tried to put me in another weird situation, and I called my ma, who lived down here. I said, "Ma, can I come to your house?" And she said, "Oh yeah, tell your friend I'm dying and come down here." You know, she's always said, "You can always use me as an excuse."
She's not dying. She's fine.
She's great. She's
great.
87.
She's 87, and she's still going strong.
Still going.
Yeah.
So I came down here to help her out and stuff, and then I ended up reinventing myself and getting back. I had gotten away from music for a while.
Well, we're glad you're back to music. And speaking of which, for those people in the audience who want to get a hold of you, I know you do weddings. What else do you do?
We've done weddings, we've done funerals, we've done birthday, we do private parties. Those are the most fun, the private parties. We also do some of the wineries
on South 28
in town. Sombra Antigua, Rio Grande, those wineries.
And how can they get a hold of you?
We have a Facebook page. It's called The Two of Us.
The Two of Us.
And it's a capital T on the, capital T on two, and then of, and then capital US. And it'll say music group, and it'll show our picture. So
yeah, I was able to find you real easy.
Were you good? Okay, yeah.
Alrighty, well, we are running out of time here, but when we come back after the break, folks, we're going to have the two of us back on, and they're going to be singing some songs for us. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay right there.
Attention Medicare customers with diabetes. Now you can stop the painful pricking of your fingers with a continuous glucose monitor, and they're covered by Medicare if you qualify. Call right now for free information.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, Las Cruces, we have a special treat coming up. We have the king and queen of the Las Cruces Farmers Market. We have Frank Lovato and Helene McMillan. They're the two of us. Take it away, guys.
Please come to Boston in the springtime. I'm living with some friends and they've got lots of room. You could sell your paintings on the sidewalk near a cafe where I hope to be working very soon. Please come to Boston. She said no, boy, but won't you come home to me? And she said, rambling boy, the canyon. And we'll lie awake at night till they come back around. Please come to Denver. She said no. Barbara, won't you come home to me? And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Denver ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. Now this drifter's world goes round and round, and I doubt if it's ever gonna stop. But of all the things I've lost and found, and all that I ain't got, I still need to cling to somebody I can sing to. Please come to LA to live forever. The California life alone is just too hard to build. I live in a house that looks out over the ocean, and there's some stars that fell from the sky living up on the hill. Please come to LA. She just said no. Barbara, won't you come home to me? And she said, rambling boy, why don't you settle down? LA can't be your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fan of the man from Tennessee. I'm the #1 fan of that man from Tennessee. All right, this next song is a song by John Prine, who is a Chicago songwriter. He was a mailman turned songwriter. And we lost him a couple months ago, so this is our tribute to John Prine. 1, 2, 3. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man is another child that's grown old. Your dreams were thunder and lightning was desire. This old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, well, I had me a cowboy. He weren't much to look at, just a tree rambling man. But that was a
angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can't hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Well, there's flies in the kitchen. I can hear them buzzing, but I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, they come back in the evening, they got nothing to say? Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can't hold on to. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go.
That was amazing, Frank and Aline. Again, the two of us, we love those songs from the 1960s and 70s, that folk music. I always love hearing that type of music. And also, I told you, speaking of music, we have some great guests tonight. We have another musical guest. We have Orlando Antonio Jimenez, a local mariachi singer, and he's going to be here right after the break, so stay tuned.
Attention Medicare customers with diabetes. Now you can stop the painful pricking of your fingers with a continuous glucose monitor, and they're covered by Medicare if you qualify. Call right now for free information.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, Las Cruces, I promised you a show full of local musicians from here in the Las Cruces area, and that's what we're delivering. I hope you enjoyed those musical numbers from the two of us, and I know Scotty here, he's a big fan of music. In fact, Scotty, I know what your favorite type of music is, rock and roll, right? So we have another musician here with us as my next guest, and he's a local mariachi, and I'm going to bring him onto the show right now. Welcome to the show. Let's see if I can get your three names right. Orlando Antonio Jimenez.
You did a pretty good job here.
Welcome to the show, Orlando.
And you know what? Now I'm his godfather. You know, we talked about that because you said his name is Scott. You know, like Scott Tissue. So now his full name is Scott T. Shue.
Scott T. Shue.
Scott T. Shue. That's his name. So now I'm your godfather.
All right, there you go. That's awesome. So I know we talked about how right now with everything with the COVID-19 and the coronavirus that your life has kind of been a little different than what you used to do. Can you tell me a little bit of how things have changed for you?
You know, that not just for me. I'm here to actually represent all of mariachi-dom, as it is, you know, here and all performers, really. Right. I mean, it has just been pretty difficult. I got to tell you, I mean, we're keeping our distance. We're keeping our distance from people. But at first, when the first came out in March, that's the beginning of our wedding season. That's the beginning of, you know, for even I'm a pianist at church. Yeah. You know, we lose a lot of jobs that way. So a lot of people do this. Luckily, I'm on disability. You know, everybody that knows me knows that I'm on disability. Right. I have several autoimmune disorders, And so I do get a check every month, thank God. But there's people that do this for a living that are mariachis and vocalists and church musicians for a living, or they supplement, a part-time job that they have that they may have lost. It's been pretty difficult because, yeah, I mean, I was telling you earlier that I had a friend that their mother passed away, and I'm not going to say the real names, but they were only allowing 10 people in the church at the time.
That's
and they said, Mijo, you remember that my mom said that you needed to sing for her. And I said, okay. I said, but remember, you need to count me as one of the 10. Right. Okay, no problem. And then they call me back and say, well, Tia Teresa wants to come. So they have to make the decision between Tia Teresa and the musician.
Right.
So there was a lot of funerals that went without music.
And sadly, no one should have to make that choice.
Right. Weddings that are being postponed, a lot of them, because of the music issue, because they can't host as many people and they want to wait maybe till next year.
Right.
But either way, because right after Valentine's Day, it gets really, really slow. And then end of March, early April starts to pick up a little bit more. January is completely dead for mariachis, but and musicians in general.
Right.
So it's been pretty difficult. Yeah.
So speaking of mariachi, I know you're involved with the international conference. Can you tell me?
Yeah, I am the artistic director for the Las Cruces International Mariachi Conference. I've been having several conversations with our executive director, he's been on a couple of shows here as well, Robert Palacios. Right. And it's the new normal, as they say. I hate those words now, but we have to figure out how the mariachi conference is going to exist in COVID-19.
In the new normal.
In the new normal, yeah. And so we just don't, we have some ideas. It's not till November, ours, but even if, let's say that COVID were to disappear as quickly as it got here, we still don't feel that it would be responsible to bring that many children from Arizona and Texas, which is our that's where we mainly get kids from, into an area and make it a hot spot. So we're going to try to figure out a new way to do this, and we've been talking about it. So stay tuned, Las Cruces. You're going to hear about how we're going to do this.
Yeah. And I know a couple other things that you've been doing is you've been very helpful in some of the communities here in the New Mexico area. I know one thing that you mentioned to me is that you were playing for seniors and some of the nursing homes and some of the communities.
Yes, actually, another person that used to play mariachi and still dabbles every now and then, his name's Marcus Arroyo, over at the Good Samaritan Village. He called me and goes, hey, can you do me a favor with that little box that you carry? It's a powered speaker. Mm-hmm. Can you come and do this and serenade the seniors, because they're getting a little restless, because they're basically not even encouraged to leave their rooms.
Right.
They take their food to their rooms. And so they came out onto their balconies and out onto their little lanais.
That must have been very special.
Oh my goodness! It's like for me to hold it together, it was really difficult, but it was really beautiful. And so then the Solstice Senior Living called me and asked me to do it as well. So.
And I know you've also been working with the colonias. Can you tell us
about I am actually. People that know me know that it's like they say you're at one end of the county and then you wind up being up in Oregon.
You're a very busy man. You're a very busy man.
For being disabled, well, I just have to keep myself busy. Otherwise, I think about that too much. So I sit on the Colonias Infrastructure Board for the state, and that's at the pleasure of the Speaker of the House. Right. 10 years ago, we developed the Colonias, and we developed the Colonias Fund, and these residents of the outlying colonias, we have to come to town. I live in La Mesa, that's a colonia. Mesquite is a colonia. Vado is a colonia. Garfield is a colonia. Wow. Hatch is a colonia. All of those people that don't
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize that myself. So.
Yeah. Other than Las Cruces and Mesilla, everything else is a colonia that I just mentioned. That's out in the Pecan Valley and out in the Hatch Valley.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and so we have to come to town. That we have no choice but to leave our house, because we're not going to buy food for a month.
Right.
Because we'll buy food for a week because that's what we can afford.
Exactly.
And so, then the next week's check comes in or the next week's money comes in and then we come back to town. So we've had to get really creative with that. A lot of our seniors are very scared because they're the vulnerable population. So
that makes sense.
They call me, Mijo, come and tell me what we're gonna do. How do we not leave the house? I said, it's not that you can't leave the house, senora. You just have to wear your mask. This is the little mask that you have to wear. Put it on.
Be safe.
Be safe. And if you see your comadre at the store, no la abraces. Don't hug her because you want to. And I'm a big hugger myself, and I've just refrained from that, and it hurts. But our seniors are the ones that are being most affected out in the colonias.
And I know you mentioned to me that you also teach, and of course, so that's been
right.
Very
we had the Las Cruces
Mariachi
Conservatory.
Right.
We had the Mariachi Conservatory also with Robert Palacios. He's the director of it.
Right.
We had already stopped kind of for some reason. There was just a little break, but now we can't even use that facility at all because we can't come together and we can't teach especially singing. You know,
Yeah,
singing. The reason we have this in front of us,
Right.
and I wanted to make a big spectacle of this, even though it looks like I'm visiting you in prison. But it's like pick up the phone. No, but I'm glad that we have this in between us because the
Yes,
spittle. When we sing,
Right.
that's
No,
why we can't have choirs.
It's there for a reason.
Well, people say, why can't we have choirs in church? Why can't we have choirs in? Well, because they don't understand that when you're standing behind somebody and it comes out. So it's teaching. It's very difficult right now.
So, but I know you said you played weddings, you played funerals. Tell us a little bit about your musical background.
Okay, so this year, this is a new normal, as they say. This is my 30th anniversary as a vocalist. 1990 was the year that I started singing. And I sing opera, mariachi, jazz. I sing anything, Broadway, whatever it is that you'll throw at me, Christian music, I'll sing it. And so, I'm celebrating that by going to the nursing homes now and stuff like that, yeah.
So, what different types of instruments do you play?
I play clarinet, not very well anymore. That's how I started, was on clarinet. I can still pick it up and get my embouchure back. I play piano as well, a little bit of flute.
And of course you're a singer as well.
Right, and the pipes.
Right. So I know you're going to be singing for us tonight. So
right, yeah, I'm going to be doing 2 different songs, 2 maybe 3, depending on how much time we have. But I'm doing definitely El Aguacero, which is a song from long ago, and Lola Beltran made that pretty famous.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be doing for our frontline workers, which I respect very much, The Impossible Dream.
All right, and I know you mentioned to me that just like us, you have a Facebook page and you have a Facebook show.
Yes, guys, my Facebook page is Orlando-Antonio Carrillo-Jimenez. I'm there. If you put in Orlando-Antonio, you're going to wind up finding me right from that. But that's where you can go every Friday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I am online Facebook concert free of charge to get my juice, to keep my performance going.
So hopefully you'll like what you see tonight, and you'll tune
Definitely,
in.
and I am available right now for serenades, and they're social. I call them socially distant serenades, and I do take my little thingy with me, and I just kind of stay away from the people, and I sing from about 10 feet away. But these pipes are a little bit. They can handle it.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the show tonight, Orlando.
All right.
And we'll be right back after these messages with Orlando singing some of those songs that he mentioned. Stay tuned. Welcome back. As promised, Las Cruces, we have Orlando Antonio Jimenez in the house. Orlando, take it away.
What up?
Mira, relampaguea, el cielo está encapotado, vaqueros para el corral, arrear todo el ganado. La noche se viene encima, procuren pronto llegar. Mañana en la madrugada comenzamos a labrar. Ay, 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 ay. Bendito sea el cielo, llorando te quiero muchísimo más, más y más. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Esta noche mi tejado tendrá un olorcito a barro. ¡Ay! La lluvia me irá a arrullar. Las primeras gotas fueron las de un fuerte chaparrón. Les caer en mi sombrero, alegrar mi corazón. Ay, la, 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 mi corazón. Ay, la, 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 mi corazón. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
I'd like to dedicate this song. We talked a little bit about the pandemic and how it's affecting certain people. We didn't really talk too much about our frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors, our EMT, our police, and all of the people that are out there on the front lines. Those are our heroes right now during this time. I'd like to dedicate this song to them.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are so weary, to reach that unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. Fight for the right without question or pause. To be willing to march into hell for that heavenly call. And I know if my lonely be true to that glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm till I'm laid to my rest. My rest. And the world will be better for this than one man scorned and covered with scars, still strong with his last ounce of courage to reach that unreachable sky, to reach that unreachable Thank you so much. Once again to our frontline workers, God bless you.
Orlando, that was amazing. How about giving us one more song?
I Ahí viene mi queridísima Lola Beltrán. Dicen que por las noches nomás se le iba en puro llorar. Dicen que no dormía, nomás se le iba en puro tomar. Juran que el mismo cielo se estremecía al oír su llanto. Cómo sufrió por ella, que hasta en su muerte la fue llamando. Allí, 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 cantaba, ja, 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 ja. Reía. Allí, 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 lloraba de pasión mortal, moría. Muchísimas gracias a todos, a Chris y a todos aquí. Les quiero dar las gracias a todo el público que también está aquí con nosotros. Gracias. Que una paloma triste muy de mañana le va a cantar a la casita sola con sus puertitas de par en par. Cuentan que esta paloma no es otra cosa más que su alma, que todavía la espera a que regrese la desdichada. Cucurrucucú, paloma, cucurrucucú. Las piedras jamás, paloma, ¿qué van a saber de amores? Cucurrucucú, cucurrucucú, cucurrucucú. Paloma, ya no le llores.
Well, folks, we had a great show tonight. I think we created lots of fireworks of our own. Excellent musical guest in Frank and Helene from The Two of Us. And then we also had Armando Antonio Jimenez, our mariachi singer, doing a great job here in the studio. You know, folks, summer is just flying away, and I hope you're taking some time to enjoy your families and get outside with this beautiful weather here in Las Cruces. But remember to be safe. This is Sam Stickler saying, make this week your best week. We'll see you soon.